A particularly beautiful woman is a source of terror. As a rule, a beautiful woman is a terrible disappointment. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol or morphine or idealism. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. The word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Children are educated by what the grown-up is and not by his talk. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved but only outgrown. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. Often the hands will solve a mystery that the intellect has struggled with in vain. There is no birth of consciousness without pain. All the works of man have their origin in creative fantasy. What right have we then to depreciate imagination? Who has fully realized that history is not contained in thick books but lives in our very blood? Resistance to the organized mass can be effected only by the man who is as well organized in his individuality as the mass itself. Follow that will and that way which experience confirms to be your own. It is a fact that cannot be denied. The wickedness of others becomes our own wickedness because it kindles something evil in our own hearts. Nobody, as long as he moves about among the chaotic currents of life, is without trouble. Shrinking away from death is something unhealthy and abnormal which robs the second half of life of its purpose. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, there love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. It all depends on how we look at things, and not how they are in themselves. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. Knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but upon error also. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. There is no such thing as a pure introvert or extrovert. Such a person would be in the lunatic asylum. Man needs difficulties, they are necessary for health. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. The debt we owe to the play of imagination is incalculable. Man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. We deem those happy who from the experience of life have learned to bear its ills without being overcome by them. Masses are always breeding grounds of psychic epidemics. A scream is always just that, a noise and not music.